And as soon as your eyes turn off, you turn off the light, you're laying in bed, and all of a sudden, bing! Hello, my name is Tara Fulkerson. I'm the founder of Rebuild from Within. I am a core pattern coach. I help ladies identify and unravel deep-rooted survival patterns. If you're curious about what I mean right now by saying the word patterns, please check out my other episodes. There are 6 of them. But today, I'm going to touch on sleep and how survival patterns play a role. So I cannot tell you how many times ladies have walked into my garage where I physically train them, and the topic is, Tara, I didn't sleep well last night. It could have been they had 2 kids in bed with them. It could have been they had an argument. It could have been this typical scenario that all of us can relate to, where you're on the couch watching a movie and you're like, honey, I got to go to bed. I am exhausted. I can barely keep my eyes open. Or if you're upstairs, you're reading a book like I do at night, and I'm like, vroom, vroom. And as soon as your eyes turn off, you turn off the light, you're laying in bed, and all of a sudden, bing! And you're like, what the hell? And all of a sudden your mind's playing out, possibly a conversation you had that morning. You're thinking about what you got to get done the next day, which my rigid people do. Maybe if you wear the aggressive pattern heavily, you're replaying a conversation you had or a conversation you're going to have, and you know it's going to be heated because you're going to make sure that you make your point. It could be the enduring, where you do not express at all throughout the day. And there you are laying in bed thinking, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have done that. And then a lot of us, this is the worst, is when you look over at the clock and you're like, oh no, I've lost an hour. Okay, that's okay. I will be okay tomorrow on 7 hours of sleep. I know I will be. Then you look over the clock again, you're like, oh shit. Okay, I'll be okay on 6 hours of sleep. And then you look over again, you know where I'm going with this. And then you're like totally screwed. You automatically already have set your next day up for not successful. It's already like in your head, it's going to be a not so productive day because of the sleep. So what's happening is your body is actually in fight or flight. And if you're curious about fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, there is an episode on that as well, the nervous system, how this also plays out with patterns. So what's happening for a lot of us is when we're sleeping, your body actually thinks it's ready for a fight. It's ready for that lion to come out of the woods or that bear. Anyway, you're in fight or flight, and your body doesn't know the difference. And so what's funny, let me tell you how the survival patterns play out. Because when you were little, that's where the survival patterns came into play. And it was because your nervous system did not feel safe in that environment, those experiences. So you created a habit which became a pattern. So a lot of these times, these patterns are keeping us in fight or flight. That's why it's so important to become aware of your patterns, keep all the benefits of it, but take the stuff away that does not serve you well. So what can these patterns be doing at night that's not serving you well, that's keeping your body in a fight flight, where you're tense, your heart may be beating rapidly, you're already getting sensations in your stomach thinking about that hard conversation you're going to do tomorrow. So for example, the leaving sometimes feels they struggle with feeling connected with themselves. And so they may be sitting there in bed tossing and turning and totally thinking about random things like, how are they going to handle that situation tomorrow where they're going to be surrounded by all those people? They don't want to go. They'd rather go and take their 2 dogs for a walk at Fiesta Island. They don't want to go and be surrounded by all those people. So they're tossing and turning about that. Their nervous system's already getting hijacked. What about my merging? They worry so much about what others think about them, and they are in fear of FOMO, of missing out. So a merger could be sitting there also replaying a conversation of a friend. Maybe they thought they upset their friend. So they're thinking about, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see them tomorrow so I can make sure they're not mad at me. The enduring could be sitting there going, as I was saying earlier, I'm so upset with myself. Why didn't I step out in that meeting and say what I thought? Man, why didn't I tell my husband what I really thought? And so you're laying in bed stewing over that. The aggressive could be my aggressive. They like to be in control. And the aggressive could be sitting there just feeling exhausted and overwhelmed with having to be in control all day, and finally just feeling vulnerable in bed and wishing they could express with someone. The rigid, wow. I am a rigid person, so I can relate to this one. It's like, what do I got to do tomorrow? And I'm already replaying everything I got to get done. And I'm like, well, I better go write those to-do items down. but I already did that. So why am I still thinking about it? So all of these things are keeping you in fight or flight, and that is taxing on the body. So what do you do? Well, the beauty of knowing your survival patterns and working with me and getting that awareness and acceptance is the big thing a lot of my ladies will hear is, what is the truth? What is the truth? What is happening in that moment you're getting those sensations? Is it your pattern taking over? Is your inner critic flaring up and screaming self-limiting beliefs? What is the truth? And a lot of ladies will come out with me with scenarios and they're like, but I was able to stop, Tara. I was able to pause, listen to my sensations, understand what emotions were going on, and I asked myself, what is the truth? And I was able to respond and not react. And I'm like, that's awesome. Same thing with sleep. So me being emerging rigid, if I start ruminating on something I got to do tomorrow or something I did not do, I literally will check myself and say, what is the truth? The truth is Tara, not everything has to get done off your to-do list. You will get it done. And it's okay not having every item checked off. So it is literally pausing in bed. And I've actually have had one client, she was concerned about her son and checking in on her son. Her son was wanting to sleep with them, and she was setting a boundary that he could sleep by himself. And she was laying in bed going, oh, I want to go check on him. I want to make sure he's okay. And then she realized, pause, stop. That's my inner child. My inner child is flaring up. My inner child is needing that connection. I can give myself that connection. I don't need to go and put my overwhelm on my son. My son is going to be okay. He knows where I am, and I'm going to empower him to know that he can sleep through the night by himself. So then she was able to go back to sleep. The other big thing that I do a lot that I encourage people, and I have one client who said to me actually last week, Tara, it works. I've been meaning to tell you I do it. Because your body thinks it's in fight or flight, the best thing you can actually do is get up and actually walk around. I'm not saying get up, get on your phone. No, 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 no. Don't turn on a lot of lights. No, 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 no. It is literally just getting up, breathing in and breathing out, and just doing gentle swaying or gentle walking around your house, and just letting your body know and letting it know that you are safe, because that breath will ground you. And then also just letting the body move. A lot of times I will take that opportunity to meditate, literally just go sit down in my special little area, my room, and I sit there and I meditate for no set time, but just to connect with my breath, to know that I'm okay, to know it was either a self-limiting belief or my pattern running the show or that inner critic who likes to flare up. And then before you know it, I go back to bed and I'm sound asleep. And also we know, and we've read it before, we've heard about it, is having a routine. Don't eat a huge meal right before you go to bed. Dim the lights. Don't watch social media right before you go to bed. Consistent time of sleep, consistent structure, all of that helps. But most importantly, hopefully this video helped you. So when you're feeling restless in bed, check yourself, pause, ask yourself, what is the truth? And if you want more information about what pattern you run, take my free quiz at www.rebuildfromwithin.org. And also schedule that one-on-one with me, and we can get curious about your primary and secondary pattern.